update on the 2003 Dodge Ram 2500 with the 48 RE transmission. The band adjustment, as you saw from the last video, did not work. So we're going to try to change out the solenoid and pressure switch located inside the transmission pan. See if that makes a difference. Still starting higher than first gear. I think that should be second gear there, and then going into third. So we'll see what we can do with this, and hopefully fix the trouble. The governor, pressure, sensor, transducer, and solenoid have come in. It came with a filter. That's the solenoid. That's the sensor. The parts or the tools that you'll need is a 7/16, a 1/2, a T25, a inch-pound torque wrench, and a wrench. We'll crawl up under the truck and get to work. First thing we're going to do is there's 14 1/2-inch bolts on the drain pan. We're going to loosen the back side of the drain pan first, so that it will drain out into this bucket here. As we were looking at the dipstick, it looks very clean, so we're going to try to reuse this transmission fluid. The inside of the pan, a lot of residue there on the magnet. We're going to take that off and wipe it on a paper towel, see if we got a lot of big chunks or if it's all just fine grit. And then we'll wipe this down real good, switch out the sensor and solenoid, and put it back together. We're going to start by taking off the electrical cable here and here, and then we'll come back behind and use a T25. There's two here, and there's four 7/16 that we will remove there. So I'm going to set the camera down and get those electrical connections off first. Don't think I have room to pull that one off, so I'm going to go ahead and loosen the bolts. Drop it down and let it drain. It's a messy job. There you go. So your transducer and sensor are held on by this bracket right here, and we're just going to pry up on it a little bit, and that should bring it loose. Just a just like that. And releases your transducer, solenoid, whatever, and the relay. So the solenoid on the left is the factory solenoid, and this is the replacement Borg-Warner solenoid. Much larger in diameter, way bigger, but it's going to fit in the bracket as it's supposed to. I'm going to clean up the bracket before I put it together, rub a little bit of transmission fluid on the seals, and then we'll install it. Rubbing some transmission fluid on the O-ring, put it in the way that the previous was, and then also on the O-rings on the solenoid. And we'll place it in the bracket, set the bracket on top, press it in and it clicks, and it's ready to be installed back on the truck. We got the transducer cleaned up and ready to go back in. We're going to start with the torx screws. Those are just a hand tighten, so we'll put those in first. Just wiping off just to make sure I didn't pick up any dirt along the way. And I'm going to reuse the gasket that was on it because it looks good. Let's see. No reason to change it if it's good and it's staying in place. Be careful as you're tightening your screws to make sure they don't bind, because this is all aluminum, and aluminum is very delicate and will strip easily, so if it binds, be very careful. You might back it out, make sure you didn't pick up any dirt, but that went in just fine. I'm going to go ahead and put my electrical connectors on. Click and click.
Are you going to post this, Daddy?
Yeah.
I should probably be quiet then.
Didn't hear that one click, but I can't get it back off, so I'm guessing it's in there. No, it's not. Can't get that one in right, so we're going to take it off and try it again. Okay, we're going to reinstall the transducer. Go ahead and do your electrical connections first. Got them in there securely. And safety. Alright. And then we'll start with our T26 or 25 T25s. Be careful as you're threading. All this mess is aluminum. If it binds up, you may not be in straight. and you don't want to strip it out. It would be a bad day when you do. Alright, those are cinched up. I'm just going to tighten down just a hair with the wrench. It doesn't need much. I think that's all that needs, just a hand tighten. We'll put our 4 7/16 bolts in. We're going to cinch them up and do it in a also, while you've got your transmission pan off and everything else is going on, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and switch out that transmission filter too. Have everything fresh.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, I will. Alright, bye.
Again, just hand tightening everything down, cinch it up, and then we'll take the torque wrench to it and tighten it to 100, between 100 and 105 inch-pounds. Pan back in place, got a couple of bolts there to hold it up, so that I could put the camera in place and all that too. You're going to tighten these bolts down to 130 inch-pounds again, 130 inch-pounds. Again, do in crisscross fashion so that they cinch up fine. Remember, before you put your pan back on, to wipe it down real good on the inside, wipe down your magnet. Make sure your connections, your electrical connections are connected as they should be, and we're going to continue with that. Torquing them down to 130 inch-pounds crisscross. Alright guys, got the solenoid and sensor put in. And it's shifting just fine like it should. Good news is this is not the first trip after having them put in. I've been able to drive around all weekend on it, and it's shifting perfectly. So the governor pressure sensor and the solenoid is what the problem apparently was, and it is working wonderfully now. Hopefully this will be the last headache that I have on the truck for a little while at least anyhow. Alright guys, thanks for watching and have a stinking amazing day.